We now have a stimulus, so-called stimulus bill. I would call it a socialist communist bill to bail this country out, allegedly, with regard to the coronavirus known as COVID-19. In that context, through $2 trillion of new debt for this country, but that notwithstanding, this socializes the country. This basically cements the fact that we are moving even beyond European socialism. We know that the coronavirus is going to be around for a very long time. Even Dr. Fauci, who's not exactly the friend of the President of the United States, the head of the Center for Disease Control across the street from Emory Law School, where I got my law degree, even he says it's going to come back over and over and over again. This thing's not going away. Now, maybe it won't be as intense as it is now, but it's still going to be damaging. And this is the risk here, because once we go on the dole, once this country becomes dependent, the people of this country, and actually getting paid more money for not working than for working, there'll be no turning back. Once you give somebody a benefit, they don't want to give it back. And that's the risk here. Now, couple that with the hysteria that has been whipped up, as I said yesterday, and I said before, by cable news networks, whether it's Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, others in the media. They're profiting by this. They want to keep people glued to the television set or glued to the internet. Therefore, sell advertising, because the more people watch, the more it costs for advertising. They're making money hand over fist, and they're scaring people to the point where they don't want to lead their daily lives anymore. Even family members won't get close to other family members, even when there's no showing that there's coronavirus. It's unbelievable. This is theater of the absurd. And this is a typical weakness, of we Americans. I love this country and I love our people, but we tend to overdo things. We don't see things in a clear prism. It's either black or white, yellow or green, or whatever. And this is a problem here. And that's why yesterday I brought a lawsuit for the great writer, comedian, actor, Yale-educated lawyer, and bar member, Ben Stein. You know Ben, you've seen him. Ben Stein's Money. You've seen him in movies. Well, we brought a lawsuit with the government, okay? California is hurting. And this is something that's very, very difficult to understand, is that people think that they're under some kind of executive order that they can't do anything, that they have to obey the governor. Well, yes, the governor's guidelines are fine. Okay, Ben says that. In fact, he respects them. But you can't use the potential of arrest. Even people who are trying to worship now are being threatened with arrest, and we're asking for a declaratory judgment. And that's something which is extremely important, is that we need to get some clear understanding legally of what these governors are ordering the people to do, because we can't live in a police state. And Ben respects the fact that you have to take precautions, good hygiene, social distancing, but there's a limit. But when members of your own family, when there's no showing of any coronavirus, won't even interact with you, that's a serious question, because they're taking everything hook, line, and sinker. And that's going on throughout the United States. It's going to affect family relations. It's going to affect all kinds of different things. And frankly, it's theater of the absurd. Now, we're also going to be pursuing other actions with regard to the Chinese. No one's addressing the Chinese. Why is it that you can just complain on Fox News about the Chinese? It's not the Chinese people. They're good people, particularly Chinese Americans who came here escaping dictatorships and tyranny, just like all of us did, by and large. Some people came here just to profit off this country. That was it. But they weren't. Asian Americans, I'd say almost 30% are signing up for our class action lawsuit. 30% of the people that signed up, because, they're patriotic people. But the government of China is pure evil. The government of China should have to pay. And I continue to get contacted from all over the world by people who want to participate, who want to understand what we're doing. They want to do the same thing in their country, because China is bankrupting the world. China can afford to pay. It's the second biggest economy as of this time, but yet they're getting off scot-free. That's an outrage. And I want to know why the president is protecting them. I think you should contact the White House and say, why are you protecting the Chinese? It's not enough just to say the Chinese virus, but we at Freedom Watch are doing the heavy lifting. We have a class action. Go to freedomwatchusa.org. Sign up as a potential plaintiff. We already have over 500 plaintiffs. And sign up to support our Justice League. We're organizing lawyers throughout the country. We need your tax-deductible contributions. We've got other things up our sleeve with regard to China. Believe me, I'm working on them right now. This is the issue. The issue for the time being is not Hillary Clinton. The issue for the time being is not the Obamas. The issue for the time being, yes, it is the intelligence agencies because they kept the information from the American people to harm the president because they want to take him down, just like they did with the Steele dossier and all the phony warrants that they got through the FBI and the spying and everything else. And we have a lawsuit on that, too, to get to the bottom of that. And I'll use that as evidence in our class action lawsuit that this virus emanated from a bioweapons lab in Wuhan, China. China should have to pay. So I ask you, the American people, to sober up, okay? And I'm telling you, as a good parent, I'm 68 years old, so I guess I can call myself a parent. I'm in the group that's most at risk. I'm going to be careful, but I'm not going to be psycho about it, okay? And not communicate with people or interact with people that have no showing of the virus. As long as you stay within a certain distance and practice good hygiene, you're not at risk. But this is going to be around for a very, very long time, so get used to it. We can't turn the country into a socialist communist gulag. Couple this massive so-called relief package with these dictatorial orders that are coming out of governors in various states, and what you have is a communist gulag. So this is what we need to discuss, and don't overreact. Turn off Fox News. Fox News whores it up repeatedly, not just here, place else. They exploit conservatives for big money. And MSNBC and CNN do the same thing with the left. Turn them off. Just get the news. Then get on with your daily lives and be safe. This is going to be around for a long time. And support our case, our class action lawsuit at freedomwatchusa.org with tax-deductible contributions, and sign up to be considered as a plaintiff. Share this podcast far and wide. Share it. You can find it on freedomwatchusa.org, on Spotify, on iTunes, on Patreon, on Facebook. You can find it everywhere because you're getting the truth. I'm telling you the hard truth. I'm telling you the facts of life like a parent would tell his child. I'm not right about everything, but I'm right about this. And in fact, the president agrees with me. Let's not overdo this thing. We can't take the country to its knees, and we can't turn it into a socialist communist gulag, and we're well on our way for doing that. You know, politicians, they dole out money. What they're doing is doling out this money because they want to be reelected in the fall. They're, in fact, bribing the American people. They're overdoing it. They don't care. And, of course, the Democrats, the leftists, they want to really jack it up because they want to turn this country into a socialist communist gulag. So let's slow it down. Let's do something rational, both with regard to the government and in our own families and in our own private lives. That's my message for today. Go to freedomwatchusa.org, contribute to our cause, join our Justice League, share this podcast. God bless you. God bless your family. Stay safe. And God bless America, and God save America. I'll be back Monday with another special podcast, and I want you to listen to my radio broadcast this weekend, Special Prosecutor with Larry Klayman, on 50 stations, and you can find it at freedomwatchusa.org, on all these other networks, Spotify, Patreon, Amazon Fire, Roku, Facebook, YouTube. Get the word out. We have to now snap out of this. God bless you.
This is Derek's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
After the third time jump-starting my car, I finally realized my battery was dying. So I stopped by O'Reilly to have it checked. They tested it right there in the parking lot. It was bad, real bad. But they helped me find the right battery for my car and even installed it for free. Now my car starts like new.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.